Shirley here with Jupiter point of Tellus, and this is a moon hour on a Sol day. Ascendant and midheaven are ruled by Mercury, which is retrograde in Aries, applying to conjunct Sun, and the moon is 16 degrees Capricorn, applying to oppose Mars, ruled by Saturn, 23 degrees Pisces. And I actually want to talk about the moon in synastry overlay in the 12th house. So this is in no particular order, and I'm not sure I'm going to do like a series around that. It's just a standalone episode for now. So let's talk about moon in one's 12th house. There's something fascinating. I like my teacher and colleague Jewel with Truth in Aspect Astrology. When she talks about the 12th house or planets in one's 12th house, she compares the 12th house of a person to the attic of the house. And the planet person, okay, let's say you bring your moon, okay, is like the person who is walking around the attic of somebody else's house. So with a person, depending on the nature of the planet, you could be very curious. In the case of the moon, very absorbent, because the moon is receptive, okay? And you stumbled into for the place, and you might not even know exactly for what that place, what that room, but you definitely see with how things are arranged, that it's kind of one of the rooms that people toss things into. It's very rare to see a clean attic. My God, I immediately think for when we look at the attic, to see a clean attic, or to look at the things that are in our own attic or in our loved one's attic, is upon either when we are relocating or relocating, like crossing over. But normally the attic is where we put things that we don't need, okay, that we don't immediately need. They can be very important things, but it's kind of like, where do we put these pictures? Let's put them in the attic. And so the planet person is just going through the attic. Now, the person with the 12th house, it feels like there's some movement somewhere. Imagine, I'll give you a funny story. When I was homeless in Nederland, I needed to go to the bathroom, and I was traveling to a small village. We had to go from the shelter in the morning and come back around 4, 5, and be on time, of course. And I was traveling somewhere, a small village, and I really needed to go to the bathroom. There was no place. It was COVID, everything closed. And then, but I entered the bathroom of one of the houses. It was open. I entered the bathroom. There were people having a conversation, either on the phone or something like that, in one of the rooms. And I just immediately went to the bathroom and escaped. And as I am also speaking on the phone with someone when I was doing that. So I don't know who was more afraid, but the fact is I got to go to an actual bathroom and went out. That's all I needed. So I have, in the Spirit of Matter channel, I have a story when I tell that. So you want to think about suddenly hearing noises, not really sure if you're imagining or not, of someone who's in some place they're not supposed to be. And so usually, and I found something, I didn't know if it was a soap or a bone. Was it one of these organic soaps? Or, I have no idea. But But nothing is more of a telltale of the experience, because the 12th house person can feel like there is some. Am I imagining? Should I pull the gun? Should I call the cops? It's just, what are the intentions of the being that's going in that place? They're not supposed to be here. It might be the first initial reaction, but it's also a type of mystique. Now, depending upon your relation to mystery, and what the other person brings there, that can be altering for your experience. So, of course, it can be a person that came to steal everything from your apartment, or it can be a homeless that needed to go to the bathroom. There's no bathroom. In the United States, they could get shot dead, also in the Netherlands, but there's so many things that you don't know what to think, and you could be afraid and also curious at the same time. Now they're going to bring in something that to them is very obvious, but for you it has been lying dormant in the attic, and that is a very fascinating experience. So when the moon comes to another person's 12th house, the moon is very absorbent. So it can kind of feel like you've stumbled upon something and you absorb the energies. And because you are absorbent to the energies, you cannot not notice what's going on. You could be the type of person, if you're the moon, could be the type of person who's even wondering, I'm feeling an energy. I don't know what energy is this. And that can be, for example, let's say for people sensitive to energy. I remember I had a bestie, and whenever they would come from work or somebody would be around them, they would get for the energy of the other person. And I could tell, you've been speaking to that person who's depressed. Please take a kyanite. And so with me, with the voice, you can sense what is around my energy. But with the moon, you are absorbent, and it could be a person around you, and suddenly, what is this new energy? Did you know a new person? Did you meet a new person? What is this new energy around you? Okay, you might not tell, but you will absorb, and you see this is new energy. So for the 12th house person, somebody is receiving you, but they're receiving what's in your attic. It's very difficult. You might even have a strange feeling around that. And with the moon, because they're so receptive, they can be natural caregiving tendencies. So they might even care about you. But anyway, they are receptive to you. And they are emotionally, instinctively receptive to you. They might even feel your feelings that you're not aware of, which can be dramatically difficult because they might say, look, I see that you are angry. And you're like, I'm not angry. And it is true that because this is your 12th house, they don't know how you receive it. For example, I was going to psychotherapy, and I had a shared dream with a psychologist. Really. And I was like, go into the room, and I'm like, why do you dream about food all the time? Were you losing weight, or you like to cook? What is going on? I did not understand. I saw with the dream that they had, it was different colors, different energy, different color palette than mine. I know my dreams, I know my textures is coming for differently. And but at the same time, I did not know what it means. I could understand, I could see what they dream, but because I don't know them, I did not know what it means to them. And food for him meant nourishment. And that's the moon. I had no idea what it means. There's something in my dream. Somebody's my dream in my dream scene. And so, and for me, it was like they are dreaming about that. Now, this is how the moon is also dream state, so that you could absolutely have those things. Okay, you could be receptive of somebody's dream state if you are the moon. And so remember that people don't always remember their dreams. And so for the house person, you might receive something from the nourishment from that person in your dreams, or in your or through energy. Okay, there's some sort of nourishment or some sort of caregiving or some sort of communication that you might be receiving indirectly. Okay, think about somebody is at the attic now. Because it's at the attic, it might sound like mumbling. It might sound like, am I dreaming? Is this real? Are they trying to connect with me? Or are they trying to scare me? What is going on? Okay, for the house person, you think about this as the situation. Somebody is at the attic. Now, they're not supposed to be there. Okay, but as far as they're concerned, they could have just stumbled there. They weren't looking to be there. They're just, oh, what is this place? And so, it could be circumstances. Okay, and for you, it is very strange. What are they doing in the attic? Who is it? But in that sense, they might be they might not be sneaking in, but they might be wondering if there's a person there. You think about people that are doing filming houses, abandoned houses, and they're in the attic of someone, and your house is not abandoned, and they're like, oh my God, somebody came back. Now, when somebody came back, you don't know. You understand that they don't know what you do there, and you don't know who they are because you weren't expecting there to be anybody. So you're both excited to meet who is the owner of this house, but also for the communication between is kind of strange. How did you two come about? I have 12th house Aquarius, so through astrology, many times I would do a chart, I would feel the energy. I don't know how, but I say, what is opening a channel of communication is also channeling. And I bring in Uranus is in my 10th house, so it's less of a problem. I say, oh, I feel the energy. It's weird. Everybody watching me know that it's weird. But what if you're not watching? I don't know what happens. Okay, I really don't know. But this is exactly what the situation. So the moon is very receptive, and the 12th house person is like, somebody's at the attic. We don't know what it is. The moon could be sensing the ways in which you are undermining yourself emotionally, or the type of nourishment that you need. And if all is well aspected, they might be trying to give you that nourishment if you're the 12th house person. And as the 12th house person, you could be very suspicious, or even if you try to receive that, it can be overwhelming for you. So I think in my previous channel I did sun in the 12th house. I had a chart that had a sun in my 12th house. One of the blessings in my life, because the sun is shedding a spotlight, and then it is very obvious that they are there. You cannot not see that, but the moon is a feely type of thing. It's a different type of energy. So like, is it real? Is it not? But also, um, there can be a lot of overwhelm from what they are bringing. They don't know how to connect with you because they don't know you. They understand. Let's say you understand somebody needs, I don't know. Let's say somebody needs a hug. Okay, they don't know how to deliver that information to you. They don't know if you are the type of person who would get, like, don't touch me, or for what. Um, they might not be the person that is supposed to hug you. It's just like you need a hug from someone. Okay, so that is, and you don't know who they are. So how do you even establish communication? But with the 12th house, you understand this is the house that there is a lot of longing. Why? Because it's something that is mysterious. But also, it's not mysterious in the sense that it's not real. There is something there. You think about, what do we put in the attic? Okay, things that are very, very, very dear to us, that we want to maintain, that we don't want to throw away, but we don't want to. It's usually not trash that we have in the attic. It's the things that we most certainly use. I think about Van Gogh, and I think about the painters. Sometimes they would paint in the attic. Sometimes they would be in the attic. They would be in the 12th house. But that could be a painting you didn't know where to put it. It's very dear to your heart. You just put it somewhere. Okay, and that's that painting over there. Or pictures of family pictures that you don't connect with them every day. But it's definitely very dear to your heart. And so the moon is very receptive to exactly those things. Moon likes to see what the facial expression in that picture. What does this painting mean that you painted that? What does it mean? What did it mean for you? Or what it must mean for you? Okay, it's a work of art. Your entire attic is a work of art for them. They've stumbled upon something and they find it mysterious. You're delving into the deepest, darkest secrets that the person has forgotten about or sometimes even doesn't know. And you want to connect, you long to connect. And even if there is a deception involved, you usually are longing to connect. Okay, let's say you're sent to deceive this other person. But then you're sent to deceive this other person. You're supposed to climb to their attic and get to know everything about everything about everything about everything. Well, the nature of the moon is you are absorbent to something. It is your moon. So as you learn, think about a psychologist that learns everything there is to know about the patient. Okay, it meets them in their own moon. So your matrilineage and so on and so forth. Now, for the 12th house person, you might receive this person in your dreams. And you might receive them through with their housing, with their mother, with their creative abilities, with the type of food. Okay, think about it. Let's say they spend the whole day there. Okay, they ate something and they left it. Or the way that what were they looking to? You ever had people breaking into your house, stealing nothing, but doing a ritual there? Okay, or it's kind of like, what were they? Oh, if they stole something, what were they taking? What were they not taking? And so it's the moon becomes a mystery to you. Now you could be longing and afraid to connect with that moon, but because they have absorbed your 12th house, now they are walking talisman of your deepest, darkest secrets. Somebody, let's say, and the 12th house is also the bedroom, so talking about the dream state, but the attic, also let's say somebody's not absolutely not supposed to be in your bedroom, has been in your bedroom. This is how it becomes house of hidden affairs, but perhaps even astral. And so somebody's absolutely not supposed to be in your bedroom, has been in your bedroom. Okay? They are a walking talisman of your bedroom. You're going to see your bedroom in them. You see that person, immediately you understand they saw my bedroom. They've been in my house. They have the smell of your house, they have the energy of your house, they have with the moon, they have the energy of the hidden part of you. It's like, this is so familiar to me. Why is this person feeling so familiar to me? Okay, and now it can grow. You both can grow what's suspicious, because you would be like, what's that picture was doing there? Oh, how did they get to that thing? Or how did they get to that? Now, what is the explanation for that? And you're like, I don't. How do I explain how I found that? Okay, and for the house person, it's like, this person smells from my perfumes, but it's a perfume I made about a decade ago. And I kept it in the bedroom. The fuck it kid. And so um, the potential of this is to receive a nourishment that is almost miraculous. It's something that you didn't even know you need to heal. Or somebody, um, if you manage to connect, what you have to understand is with any 12 house synastry, you need to be moving super slowly. Now, the moon can be like almost mothering the person. It could be hugging the person, okay, for even energetically, almost mothering. So the moon person can experience at first a rejection, because the house person is, where is this coming from? What is this? Is this real? What do they want from me? Do they want me? I'm overwhelmed. Like, if they want me at a place that I don't even know myself. And because it is the moon and its nature is so reflective, then there might be the reaching into one another. Okay, it can take Neptune time, because this is 12th house, until you understand. Because what do we put in the attic? We put in the attic things of years ago. And until you understand, for what is that relating to? How did that thing play a part in my life? And that causes, depending on what that thing is, but also anything 12th house, what you didn't know, you didn't know. You completely forgot about, that you even didn't know. And that 12th house moon can bring that, can bring you that nourishment. The moon could be curious about your motives, not in a deeply scorpionic way, but more in a, depending, the person could be scorpionic, but more inside, they are absorbing you, so they might be curious about you the way that they are curious about themselves. And this can be a key figure, because both of you might find out through that how do you relate to yourself and how do you relate in general, the house person might find out no less about the moon person than the moon about the house. Because let's say if you only meet them in your dreams, you understand what they dream about. If you don't understand what does it mean for them, but you've basically just encountered somebody's dream state in your dream state. Why do they dream about that? What are you trying to show? Why are they trying to show me this in that way? They initially want to think about two societies, very distant cultures, okay? The first thing that people, how they try to welcome you. What do they bring? It shows a lot about them. Let's say if I came to you and I don't know at all, then I would say, if you're a public figure, then I would say, oh, birthday, there is, there isn't. If there is, let's do a reading. Okay, what can I offer? I'm an astrologer. I can see charts, like you see a picture of a person. Now you learned a lot about me. How do I communicate? Well, let's see a chart. It's a very weird way of communication, but it is okay. If you know the first thing about me, well, they are looking at this wheel with many details, and immediately they see me that they map. They look at a certain map, and then you see, oh, so that is so, and that is so, and that is so, and that is so, and that is so. Oh, you're going to have a this, or you're going to have that. Okay. And that for me would be the way to show that I come in peace. Here, bring something valuable. Uh, for for another person, they might perceive that as like, that is so weird. But this is where the moon in 12th house, they can bring in a gift, they can bring in a certain nourishment, they can bring in something, or they and through that you see how they relate. So it's that initial contact, we don't really know how to relate to each other yet. That can matter a lot because what they try first is usually what they would do for themselves, together with what they absorb from you. So it's a mix. So there can be a lot of questioning of what does the other need, or confusion. Because they immediately absorb something, and then with the way that you try to process that information and care for you is showing, okay, a lot about them. Because that is the nature of them, it's very reflective. So the potential here is of deep connection with 12th house, very, very difficult to let go. And it's one of those connections that can be um, what people call very spiritual connection. Okay, you can have shared dreams. You can change the way you sense the world. Both the moon and the sun are associated with the eyes. The way you feel when you observe can change. Um, the potential is for the 12th house to heal something deep about themselves, and also for the moon house, for the moon person. You by caring, but identifying and creating that type of caring, you could be curating something about yourself. Now, of course, you want to pay attention that you don't neglect you and your self-care in that process. Because of the fascination, you could lose yourself like a little child in a store. It's like a little child that is closed themselves accidentally in a toy store or in a candy store. Okay, you could get lost, right? There's so many interesting details that are, what is it, what does it mean, and so on and so forth, that you could be forgetting yourself in that sense. And for the house person, okay, that can be overwhelming. Both of you can be overwhelmed, and for the house person it can be overwhelming. So it takes a lot of, you have to work easy into that. Now, because it is the moon, and the moon tend to absorb, it's kind of like you stumbled upon something, now you're there, and the moon is absorbent, and now the moon is also reflective. So even in energy, something reflects to you, and you don't know. You don't know what is going on. Now again, you want the way that the moon is aspected is going to bring that into the 12th house with everything that that entails. So all in all, very special connection. If you have it, let's say, with in therapy connection, that can be highly confusing, regardless if you are the moon person or the 12th house person. While it has great potential to curate, um, you're simply going to be confused about what the other needs and what are your needs. I'm not saying it's enmeshment, but there's a good chance where your patient, let's say, can see you no less good than than you can see them, um, and they might not they may stumble upon for your attic. I had a case where I saw that one of the things that I saw in a room, a psychologist that was getting like electric shock, because I'm huge, so getting like an electric shock, and me, the patient, watching him in the room change the identity, change of face. I didn't know what it is, but it says like some voltage, it's like a voltage is released, and then it had like almost like a little bit of falling, and then there's something changing. Or suddenly their stare changed into like complete hatred or something like that, and then what it creates is kind of like I'm the patient, okay, but nobody is to blame for that. That can simply be some sort of a 12th moon connection, a 12th house moon connection or 12th house connection. And this can be if you don't know the astrology, it can be drastically horrid for both sides, because who would believe the patient, and how will you show it to for the therapist, right? It's like, oh, it's not your job, it's not your this, it's not your that. It happened. Now what do you do? So um, this is going to be one of the synastries that is because you both very likely sense the potential it has to curate your life, and because it touches on both of you from the upbringing, from the birthing. 12th house is the house before birth. It's the water of preconception. Okay, Aries in okay. I'm not going to fully associate 12th house with Pisces, but 12th house is the dream state, and then the first house is the body. So the house before the body is associated with pre-birthing or preconception, and the moon, of course, is conception and birthing. It's fertility, it's the cycle of life and death. It's the mothering, it's the caregiving. 12th house is also the bedroom, of course, it's associated with. Not that you have to do it in the bedroom, um, but this is okay. It's very intimate, and definitely shows us that for those of you who are into psychodynamic, okay, psychotherapy, get real about like what that entails. For your patient's gonna know. So is it even reasonable to have to believe, let's say, the doctor, but not the patient. What happens when the patient is a child? Okay, those things are fascinating because both of you, even outside the context of psychotherapy, both of you can sense that there is something here that is curating, that is powerful and potent and even very karmic, because why on earth would you meet a person that meets you at that level, right? It's very fated, um, and it is from your preconception, both of your preconception. The two charts I had regarding this touched on to this point so intensely. So both of you are wanting to move for incredibly slowly, because the person in the attic, you want to think about it. Let's say you meet a person in the attic, but in the attic they have documents, and these documents are adoption documents for the birth certificate. Do they even know that they have this in the attic? Okay. And then you have a dream, and in that dream you see yourself born in IVF. And but when you have that dream, your 12th house person also has the dream, and they wonder, is it me? Is it you? Then they come to you. They say, I don't know why I was dreaming you were born in IVF. What do you want to do? Okay, it can be all that dramatic. So I want you to prepare yourselves. Sun is the father, moon is the mother. Okay, so I want you to prepare yourself to be exposed to things and you sometimes energetically sense it or see it. But that come from your own birthing. So it's touching on your most intimate lives in one of the most intimate ways, and in one of the least accessible ways. You understand why it's so difficult to let go of one another, because it's like, hey, that person holds a secret to my existence and to my curation, and that is a mutual thing. And the more you connect, you want to think about investigator. Okay, think about crime investigator. Okay, you look into why did the person did this, or why did the person did that, or why did the person that, and then you find out that you have another persona that does a this, or that, or that, or that, or that. Okay, it can be as deep. Because this is also a place of dissociation. When I was looking to children that were survivors of satanic abuse, okay, I had no idea that I went through a sort of ritual abuse of myself. I had no idea. I knew that they tried to kidnap me when I was a child in the hospital and so on. Somebody saved me and so on. I did not know where to. I did not know for what. Okay, there are many things that to say that I know today. I still don't know everything. I know some crisis in my life with Uranus Square. I felt survivor's guilt, and I thought maybe from my lineage of my grandfather, but I don't know where it came from with the feeling. felt like a Holocaust. And I'm like, what do I know about that? And I think about what I'm tending to today. So you understand that the moon carries both the good things and the bad things, and the everything of your emotional, psychological, matrilineal lineage of both of you. So this one is not only challenging to let go of. Oh, this go on YouTube. It's not only challenging to let go of, but also there's a reason. There's a genuine reason why it's important in your life to delve into that. But you're going to have to be incredibly compassionate with yourself and one another. And what you're going to discover is unexpected for both of you and everyone involved. Okay, in your lives, because it's the moon. It's a relational planet. Um, so yes, this is 12th house moon synastry.